Well, I'm gonna just get started. Good evening, everybody. I'm Nicholas Xavier, and welcome to Tea Time, where I share knowledge about transmit and interview transmit and doing great things in the community. Hope everybody's doing great today. It's Wednesday. For all of those who've gone back to work now, I hope it's going well. I want to give a shout out to my co-host Malachi, who's not here today. He's actually on the road, headed back home to Texas to visit his family. And as he said quite a few times, that it's usually a big struggle for him to go back home. So if everybody could just, send positivity to him, that would be great. Now, I told him it's going to be okay. We all got your back on this. And just, think positive. And preferably, things will be different this time around. I'm going to give you guys a fact. Today's fact is on sexual orientation. Being gay doesn't mean you're trans, and being trans doesn't mean you're gay. Being trans is about gender identity. It has nothing to do with your sexual orientation. Trans people can identify as straight, gay, lesbian, bi, pansexual, asexual, queer, etc., etc., etc. There was a couple weeks back that the question was asked. People were concerned about how they could help um, the trans community, how they could give their support and help. So, I gave a pretty short answer on how you could do that, but I did some thinking, some research. I asked people questions, and so that's what I want to talk about today is how you can help, which is basically become an ally. An ally is a cisgender person who supports equal rights, gender equality, and challenges anybody who has transphobia. Um, the best way I say to become a good ally is to start by educating yourself on things that are trans. You gotta, in order to speak about something, you have to know about it. Because you can have the best intentions, which definitely is great, uh, but you can also do a lot of damage if you don't have the correct information. One of the things you have to do is please, please, please remember that words matter. Why do words matter? By using the wrong terms, saying the wrong thing can really hurt people. It also helps to keep negativity going. So, and you don't want to do that. If your intention is to help, you don't want to do harm. So, for example, you don't want to use the word tranny or he, she, call somebody a he, she, it, or T girl or T boy. All those are derogatory terms, and it implies that the person isn't real. Also, prefixes like bio, genetic, natural, natural born or born woman or man, don't use them, please. Just don't use them. Um, Also, transgender is an adjective. I've said this once before, but transgender is an adjective. It's not a noun or a verb. You should say transgender person, trans woman, or trans man, not a transgender or he or she is transgendered. That is not the way to say it. Another thing you can do is speak up. If you see somebody saying hurtful things about a trans person, don't just let it slide. Or don't just say, "Oh, well, I don't agree with it," but say something, because when you speak up, it might make them feel embarrassed. It might make them be like, "Oh, well, I don't have an audience now. I'm alone on this one, so let me just be quiet." Um, as far as like names go, whether a trans person get whatever name a trans person tells you they want to be called by, that's the name you call them by. I don't care what they you used to call them or what you think they should be called. It doesn't matter. That's the name they want. That's the name they want. Uh, Also, pronouns. Everyone has them. Everyone, not just trans folks. But the best way to do it is to ask what somebody's pronouns are. Uh, a way to go about it, if you don't want to just come right out and say, what are your pronouns? You can say, "Hi," when you first meet somebody. "Hi, my name is so and so, and my pronouns are," if it was me, it would be he, him, are my pronouns. And then they'll feel comfortable to do the same. And then that way, what pronouns to use, because there are many pronouns. So don't just assume, because just because somebody looks a certain way, don't assume what their pronouns are. Also, if you make a mistake, just apologize. It's okay. Especially if normally you're making an effort to change or to get things right. Just apologize and keep it moving. Don't make a big deal out of it. It's like causing a scene. That's not necessary. Um, don't ever out somebody. Um, Please make sure it's okay with someone to disclose that they're trans. You know, they might not want everybody to know. Even though they told you, that doesn't mean they want to share it with everybody. So don't assume that. A really good rule of thumb is to, before you ask a trans person a question, think to yourself, is this a question I would ask anybody else? And if you say yes, then 9 times out of 10, it's okay to ask. Also, one of the last thing you can do, not the last, but one other thing that you can do is just to listen. Listen to trans voices. Ask what trans people need and what they want from you, what they want you to do. And just by doing that and showing respect, you'll be a great ally. It's not that hard, really. It really isn't. If you care, then you'll do just fine. So that's it. Okay. Today, I have the pleasure of having my guest is Mr. Alejandro Santiago. Uh, Took a second. Hello, sir.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm tired. I'm good. I'm doing good, man. So, okay. This year is a mess. I'm gonna start there. How you doing through the pandemic? Black Lives Matter. Red Lives Matter. How are you?
um, I'm doing okay. I mean, it's been a very trying time for everybody, and I'm okay physically, but mentally, it really takes a toll on me because I feel like I carry the weight um of a lot of people. So it's very stressful, because I feel like there's more that I can do, but I don't know how. So that takes a
Okay.
lot on me mentally.
Uh, Not knowing what or how to do it. Yeah. You have a very interesting organization called I Am Human. Can you tell us what I Am Human is about, why you started it, when it got started?
I Am Human was founded in 2014 by my brother, Arik, that lives in Philadelphia. He started it, pretty much as a way to, show the community that being homeless and other people that society kind of throws to the side are human. So he started it, by feeding the homeless, and he had the T-shirt, or logo design. So it started back in 2014. I took over, a little over 2 years ago, as president. He kind of stepped away for a while to do other things, and I recently founded the I Am Human Foundation. Um, we're literally a month into being, a 501c3. Um, the foundation I started because
Congrats.
I wanted to branch out into more areas, than just feeding the homeless. For a long time, I was stealth and I wanted to live stealth, but you know, life has a way of showing you what you're going to be, whether you want to be it or not. And my calling was really, um, towards the trans community. So I started the foundation so I could put more focus on being an advocate for the trans community, the whole community, but with my focus being on the Black trans community. So that's, why I started the foundation.
Okay. That's great. And congratulations on becoming an LLC. That's a big step.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Another organization you're the president of is Westland. Can you explain to people what Westland is and if they want to be a part of it, what they can do or how or and,
Westland, started back in 2009, as a pageant. It was a prelim to, a US of A newcomer. Um, and then the founder of that, who is D West, decided to branch out on his own, away from USA, and started, the newcomer division of Westland. So Westland started as a pageant. I've been with the, Westland since the beginning, and a year and a half ago, D West decided to step away from the pageant, and he named me, president. Um, but before he left, Westland has always been big on community service. So before he left, he wanted to make sure that we started a foundation so we could, give back to the community in a way that was more visible, because we would do a lot of behind the scenes things, and people who were a part of the pageant community would know what we would do, but if you weren't a part of the pageant community, you would have no idea about the things that we were doing in the community. So he wanted to kind of still be pageant focused, but broaden our horizons to more, people outside of the pageant community, and that's when we started the foundation. And it's really new too. We became 501c3 back in March.
oh wow. Okay. That's
And there,
awesome.
yeah, there are 5 divisions of the pageant. So anybody who's interested in pageantry, can reach out to me as far as how to become a part of the pageant world.
Okay. The pageant world.
Yeah. It's a world all
All
its
right.
own,
A whole different world. Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
different
I know
world.
nothing about it.
That might be a good thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely, I think so. It's like it's an art form in itself. Definitely. Yeah.
Definitely.
Um.
And I'm on the ballroom scene too, so it's like I'm kind of like all over the place.
All right. Why what is your personal reason for doing what you do? You help a lot of people. Why do you do it? Like where does it come from, the desire to help so many people?
I think certain things you're just born with, and there's certain things that you're taught, and I think mine is a little bit of both. Because my mom, from a early age, we were always like at Christmas, we would adopt a family and purchase their gifts and everything. We would visit homeless shelters. We would take them our toys. Um, we would volunteer at Thanksgiving because we weren't part of the traditional Thanksgiving celebration that most people. Um, that's a whole nother story. But we would do use that day as a day of service more so than celebrating a holiday that we didn't necessarily believe in. So that's how it started. It started with my mom. Like, she was the most giving person you would ever meet. She would give you the shirt off of her back. So I think a lot of it is part of my DNA.
That's great. That's awesome. Helping people from such a young age. That's great. Um, okay. What do you think the key is for the world to become a better place?
I think that if we stop looking for the differences in each other and look at what we have in common, and that's the fact that we're all human. It doesn't matter what our race is, what our gender is, what our sexual orientation is, what our favorite color is, what our favorite food is. The fact that we're just human, and if we could look at that and respect each other just on the level that we were all born human. I mean, I can't. I don't know if I can explain it even any deeper than that. We look for the differences in each other. Like, I don't like him because he's
Mm-hmm.
this, or I don't like her because she's that. What about what we have alike? And I think if people focus more on that, then I think we'd be in a much better place than we are right now.
Okay. I like that. I definitely agree. It makes sense too. And it seems so simple, but yet we have yet to achieve it.
It's the
It's
simple
crazy.
things that we have the
People.
hardest time grasping. Quantum
Mm-hmm.
theories we
Yep.
can get all day long. The simple things we can't grasp. I've never understood that, and I'm at fault too. I mean, the
Yep.
simple things I question. I'm like, wait a minute, that's too easy. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess it's just a human element. So
it
yeah,
is.
we're just gonna keep working on it. Working at it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Um. Yeah. You were saying you're a part of the ballroom scene. The house of, I don't want to say it wrong. You belong to a house. How you say it?
It's the House of Garcon.
Is it song? Okay. It's which I hear it's not your typical ballroom house. Can you explain what the difference with the house is? What makes it so special?
Well, for me, we have a part of our house called CDG Pro. It's the professional part of the house, um, encompassed of lawyers and CEOs and psychiatrists and advocates, and we use that division of the house as our community service aspect. And they don't care if you how many balls you've walked or how many balls you've won. The fact that you are a person that gives back to the community, and to me, that sets them apart because I have been with the House of Garcon 6 years now, almost 7 years. Ask me how many balls I've walked.
How many?
None. I have not walked one ball.
Okay. Okay.
Any other house, I wouldn't have made it 6 months because they collect trophies.
Uh,
And that's not what my house is about. It's about family, it's about community. And that's what
okay.
sets them apart.
Yeah, that's rare. I've actually never heard that before. I mean, maybe they do exist, but I've never heard. It's usually all about, winning trophies. Wow,
And that's exactly what
that's
it's
different.
about.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Right. Okay. All right. Hmm. Uh, you were speaking on. I mean, a lot of us don't want to be known as trans for different reasons, and I respect. I respect. Me personally, I feel it's important to say that I'm trans because I feel like I gotta help. I want to help other people like us that don't know what to do or feel like they're alone. But like you were saying, it's a struggle for you. Um, man, and then I have people come up to me that say, don't tell people you're trans. You're just a man. They're not gonna respect you. Do you feel that way?
Well, it's true that there are certain people that don't respect you as a man when you put the word trans in front of it. Um, and to be completely transparent, I wanted to be what people considered normal, for lack of a better word, um, or what society considered normal.
Mm,
But I still had a lot of growing to do, you know, within me. I had to be comfortable with me. And then once I became comfortable with me, then what was normal for me was just my normal. And I didn't care how society
uh,
looked at me. Um, so when I was living stealth, it was like part of me was okay because I felt like I could just be Alex without any labels or put in any type of box. Um,
mm,
but then there was still this part of me that that was kind of empty because I just felt like there's something was missing. Um, so it took a lot of soul searching. My wife is also trans, and um, I just wanted to have a regular relationship without people judging, without people, and when I say people, I mean within my own community, the LGBTQ community,
yes,
judging.
they're the worst.
They're the
Yeah.
absolute worst. Um,
Yeah.
so I mean, I've had lesbians say, "Oh, you're just a glorified stud. I mean, you just take tea to grow facial hair, but you're just a stud. Glorified stud." I mean, I've heard it all, but I had to become comfortable enough in my own skin that I didn't care what anybody else said about me because I knew who I was. I know who I am. I know who
Right.
my wife is. I know the type of relationship that we have. So I don't care what, but that took a long time. Um, and in a way, I think that we go through things and grow through things so we can be there for the next person who's going through it.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of guys that may have not had the strength that I had um, to grow through it. And I mean, a good friend of mine from Florida killed himself. It hasn't been a month, you know, because he didn't have the support and didn't have the inner strength. So I feel like I went through what I went through, so I can be, like you said, that person for the next guy, because I didn't have um, a mentor. You know, I went through my transition by myself. I mean, so I think that's why I struggled also with being stealth, because I knew what I went through by myself, and I was like, you know, it just wouldn't be right, or I wouldn't be the kind of guy that I want to be if I allowed that to happen to the next guy.
Sure. Yeah. Very well said. I like that. That's awesome. Okay. The only thing I want to ask, I want you to know, I appreciate you. I know it's been a long day for you. I appreciate you taking out your time to come on the show. If there's anything I could do to support your fish and your movement, just let me know. You know,
Well,
I believe in what you're doing. Everything. Go ahead.
thank you. There's one thing that you can share. We were just awarded a
Mm.
grant where I'm able to support guys in their hormone therapy replacement. So if they just go to the website, there's a link that says mini grant, and they just fill that out. Somebody from the staff will reach out to them because they the girl that I spoke to who actually awarded me the grant was very surprised at the lack of resources that we have. Um, so I mean, it was a no-brainer for her to give me the resources just to help the Black trans men
Uh,
community. So yeah, just tell them to go to my website, which is
that's
iamhumanfoundation.org, and fill out and click the link, and somebody from my staff will reach out to them so we can see how we can help pay for some hormone replacement therapy.
that's good. Gonna help a lot of guys.
I
There's a
hope
lot of
so.
guys out there that really need help. Yeah. Oh, you will. You will. Your heart is. It's definitely. It's just gonna keep growing. I definitely believe that. Well, Alex, I thank you for
Thank you. I
being on,
appreciate that.
sir. Take it easy.
Thank you for having me on here.
Oh, my pleasure,
Thank
man.
you.
You can get some rest, man.
I'm gonna try. I'm
All
gonna
right.
try.
Peace.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, you heard it. If you know any young men, young trans men that need help with their T getting on T and everything like that, he is there to help. Just reach out to him. If you don't want to reach out to him, you can reach out to me and I will connect you to him. Either way, that's fine. But that's our show for today. Oh, one more thing. I, along with the awesome Onyx Keisha, doing a documentary called Almost Invisible. So we're looking to interview some trans men um, in the Atlanta area over the next couple days between Sunday and Tuesday coming up. So if you know anybody that is interested or willing to be interviewed for this documentary, please hit me in my inbox and let me know, or you can hit up Onyx Keisha. Most people definitely know who she is. Uh, it's something. It's going to be something really great. It's honoring trans men, so something positive, most definitely, of course. So you guys, that's the show. I'll see you guys next Wednesday. All of you stay safe. I appreciate you. Peace.